Today I'm going to show you how I leverage AI and Facebook's machine learning to optimize Facebook ad accounts so that individual ads can spend millions of dollars and to maximize the scalability of your business while Facebook does all of the hard work for you. All right, this one's gonna be super fun, and we're gonna get into a 5-point checklist here at the end. So stick around, it's gonna be awesome. So first we have to ask ourselves the question, why is it important to leverage AI and machine learning? Well, it really comes down to one simple point. Facebook has trillions of data points on each individual of its billions of users. And that goes back over a decade on a lot of people. Now, the point here is you can try to guess what Facebook should be doing, or you can leverage it to make all of the decisions for you. Now, historically, before 2018, Facebook operated a lot like Google Display, which is why so many people say that you have to do targeting, because ultimately it was random distribution of your ad amongst an audience, so you had to narrow that audience so that your ad was being shown to the best people. It's no longer like that, and it hasn't been for nearly half a decade. Now, our ads get delivered to the people where their user experience is going to be the best that meets unit economic goals for our ad spend. Now, why this really matters is because if you lean into Facebook's AI and let Facebook's artificial intelligence make decisions, it's going to make better and better ones over time because that machine learning will only ever get better. So we're gonna dive into right now how to leverage the artificial intelligence and machine learning to make it so that we don't ever actually have to do anything other than launch the creative test based on using Facebook's own version of ChatGPT, which we covered in this video. And that's basically all we ever have to do. This is how we get Facebook ads down to a couple hours a month. I'm personally spending 50 to 100 grand, sometimes twice that in a day. And I spend at max 5 to 6 hours a month managing that ad account, and I make 7 figures of revenue a week from that business. And there's absolutely no reason you have to work any harder than I am. All right, with that being said, let's get to it. So here are the 5 steps on how to use Facebook's AI to optimize your ad account so that you work a lot less and make a lot more. Buckle up, this is gonna be fun. Number 1, and maybe the most important thing, is pick a product with the right PSM, profitable scaling margin, the LTV, divided by the sum of CPA and COGS for every purchase in that customer's journey. We have to make sure that the product we're actually putting out there is the right fit for our business cash flow needs. Now, one of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do I know which product is the right one? Let me give you a quick little sheet. Take the receipts of the last 12 months of everybody that has been marked as returning customer, and then compare that against everybody that's been marked as new customer. Now you're gonna see a lot of overlap. Those are the customers that have come back and paid you more than once. This is the product that has the highest second purchase rate. This product, when sold, gives us the highest opportunity of collecting future revenue. Now you might have a couple products that do really well. So at this point we need to see, when is that second purchase? Is it 20 days? Is it 40 days? Is it 180 days? And ultimately, what is the lifetime value of that customer? You're gonna have several options here, and based on the cash flow profile, the customer avatar, based on buying behavior that best fits your business, we're gonna pick our hero product. Point number 2, you might already have an existing ad account. You probably already do. So the point here is, let's take a look at it and ultimately understand when we're gonna build our one campaign ad account setup, which we should all be doing. Can we afford to support multiple efforts with our ad spend? Basically, do we have enough budget to support the one campaign setup we should be building and the rest of the ad account? If so, great, we can build in isolation. And if not, we're gonna have to build our one campaign within the existing setup. And like the antidote to poison, it's ultimately gonna take over all of the things that are bad for you and help you get healthy and ultimately help your bank account grow strong like you deserve. So step 3 is we're going to build our one campaign per business objective ad account setup. So the first thing in this is we're going to need a control environment. This is going to be a winner's ad set. This is all of our best performing post IDs, 3 to 5 of them, 4 to 6 of them that we've spent a lot on. If you don't know what those ads are, simply go to lifetime in your ad spend, sort by amount spent, and pick everything off the top. There's a reason you spent that much, let's use them. Now, Part B on this is it's going to compete with and cannibalize the existing ads that are running, and that's totally fine. Because ultimately, we need these to work because the tests we're gonna run have to run up against these. And hey, if our new account setup robs old bad things and that's how it succeeds, is that really a bad thing? No. It's gonna help us get to where we need even faster. And part C of this is that we're gonna ultimately set up dynamic creative tests following the 3-2-2 method. And these tests have a very specific business objective of either improving upon the ads that exist in our control environment or targeting a new audience. Because remember, the ads do the targeting. I just gotta take a moment here before we keep going and just say thank you so much. I know you could be literally anywhere on the internet right now and you've chosen to be here. So go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss anything else. Ring the bell so you get notified with every new video. And with that being said, let's get back to it. All right, so part 4 of this is our actual dynamic creative tests. And what's really important here is that we don't wanna launch any more than 2. Now let's get into what they're supposed to be doing and what actions we should take as we actually start running them. We're gonna want to look at the blended result of the test and the control. Here's how we actually look at that data. The first thing is, remember, we never wanna launch more than 2 tests at any time. If you're trying to solve a problem and there's like 10 variables, you're never gonna solve it. Keep it simple and actionable and you'll move quickly with confidence. All right, here's the important information to look at when you run those tests. So the first thing we need to look at is the contribution to the blended CPA. And what I mean here is, maybe when you launch those new dynamic creative tests, you say, wow, those CPAs are unsustainable. Look at the actual CPA of the entire campaign, not just of your test. I can't tell you how many times people take a look at the dynamic creative test and say, it's a complete loser. And then we look at the CPA and it actually went down. The blended CPA of the campaign, because remember, that new dynamic creative test, maybe it's doing phenomenal at being a prospecting ad. So that your existing post IDs in your control environment can more leverage mid and bottom funnel traffic. Maybe the loss leader that you have in your dynamic creative test is allowing you to have a higher volume of traffic with which to get a much higher profit margin off of. It's all about the blended result. Never isolate just the test when you're looking at the efficiency. Second part of this is if your blended CPA is good, and by that I mean better than your target blended CPA across the business, we can begin to increase our spend. The dynamic creative test is there to give you new ads, yes, but it's not there to produce winning post IDs. That is ultimately the end goal, but really the focus here is to improve the overall efficiency of the campaign. And if our overall business continues to improve because it was running, now that creative test isn't there to try to find a winning ad. It's there to determine how much more money can we spend because it is in the mix. Because our portfolio now contains these new ads, we can afford to spend more money. That's what actually matters. The creative test might be over in 7 to 10 days, but now without making any moves other than budget, we've switched to the more important test, which is a stress test. How much more can we scale this before we have to take any other action? And you can even automate that. Now, the last piece of this is, if we are adding spend to this campaign, and let's say this campaign exists amongst other campaigns within the ad account, we're trying to ultimately optimize that ad account. Well, if our new campaign is anything but the worst campaign in the ad account, we can begin to pay for the increase in budget there by removing the spend from someplace else. We become investment bankers, ultimately investing more money with better results. If we can borrow or steal the budget from our worst campaign and put it into our new one, even if it isn't the best one yet, we're already gonna continue to move forward and improve our overall business results because we're investment bankers getting a better return for our investment. And that allows our new campaign to continue to grow in a stable way. Now, I generally won't make a change of over a 10% budget shift, and I won't do it more than 3 times a week. And we'll borrow from the worst performing things. And ultimately, as our campaign continues to get better and better and better and scale more and more, that machine learning is getting smarter and smarter the more resources we give it. And that AI inside of our ads is finding the right person to target and which ad to show them. So it's doing all of that hard work for us. Eventually, our new campaign is going to gobble up the budget of literally everything else running in the account. And before you know it, you've got one campaign in your ad account and you've scaled your business. If you do it by 2% a week, you're gonna be 3 times bigger by the end of the year. That's massive. And basically all you've done is launch a few creative tests and then adjusted your budgets so that your best investment, the one leveraging AI and machine learning, ultimately gets a larger and larger percentage of your spend until you literally have nothing else going on and you've saved hours every week of the meaningless kicking around of pebbles. We're not worried about the pebbles anymore. We're going to move mountains. This is how a Facebook ad account should be managed. So let's wrap this up. What do we actually care about? Spending as much money as possible within the environment that we're leveraging AI and machine learning. We care about blended CPA of that campaign and the contribution to the overall business. And we don't give a damn about ROAS anymore. We are building an empire like investment bankers. We're no longer hunters trying not to starve in caves. We're not prioritizing the ego of the marketer. Instead, we're building our bank account, letting Facebook's machine learning and artificial intelligence do all of the hard work for us. And remember, we're going to push budgets when our blended CPA is below our target. And we can spend half of that margin. If we're 10% below our target, spend 5% more. But don't make that move more often than 3 times a week, because you want to be able to understand the impact of that change on your entire ecosystem. What is the impact on conversion rate? What is the impact on search volume? What is the impact to your Amazon store, to your email flows? You need to know what happens here, because sometimes the best thing you can do is let your Facebook ad account CPA get a little bit worse, because you're massively amplifying the volume to a bunch of other channels that are way more efficient. All right, there we go. That's how we're gonna leverage artificial intelligence and machine learning to do all of the hard work for us, so that we don't have to work nearly as hard and make way more money. This is how I manage Facebook ad accounts to take a 6-figure business into a 7-figure a week revenue company. And I've been doing it for years. Remember, the artificial intelligence is smarter than all of us. So that being said, if you want to know anything else, and if you love this information, but you want to amplify your skill set, check down below. You're going to find links for my newsletter. It's free. You can also sign up for disruptorschool.com, where we get classes every single week, including live deep dives into ad accounts and master classes and ebooks with access to everything inside the school for one low monthly fee. And if you want even more than that, down below that, you'll find a link to the Facebook Ads MBA program, which will probably be the single highest ROI investment you make if you're going to be a Facebook Ads manager. With that being said, YouTube thinks you might like a couple of these videos. Don't forget to smash the button over here to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you on the internet.